Happy Mathews launch day, everyone. That is weird to say because it is the middle of August right now. We have the new bow and I do not know the name of it. I have not seen a final version of it. I know a little bit of the technologies and a couple new things, but Derek sent me a box and he's like, surprise. So we have it. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna do a complete first look, a complete bow build, do a little bit of shooting. I'm pretty excited because this one's different. Every now and again they come out with something really different. I think this one is. Starting with what's in this bag, this is something really different too. I'm actually really excited, guys. I mean, I've looked at this box for a couple days, just waiting to get time to do a bow build on it, and we've been chomping on the bit. Well, what should we open first? Should we open the bow first or the accessories first?
Bow first.
Bow? Here we go, guys. Are you shaking, Riley? Are you excited?
I'm stone cold.
I'm excited. Hear what color I got too.
Granite.
Did we?
Yeah.
And it's a brand new hat. Same hat. I don't know why they gave me a hat like that. Guess they wanted the full deal here. There we go. First impressions is it's a very similar riser. It is a very similar riser. Not super, oh! Wow, this name threw me off, dude. The all new Phase 4. Back to a full word. We did VXR, we did V3, we did V3X, now it's Phase 4. I kinda like that. I was not expecting that at all. So, as you guys can see, there's 4 limbs on the top, and there's 4 limbs on the bottom. There's 8 limbs on this bow. There's actually, this rubber is separating 2 limbs in there. So technically you could poke something through that, you know, there's nothing there. There's air in between, and that rubber's filling it in. Which is wild to me. When they told me that was gonna be a thing, I was like, I've never thought of that. But it's supposedly, I've never shot this bow, but it supposedly cuts down vibration like crazy. It chops stuff in half pretty much by adding double. How does that math work? I don't know, but that's how it works. Besides that, we have another really cool thing that is in this box. I'm gonna have to run through some specs on it because I don't even know the specs on it. So we might have to find a manual somewhere and just read through it. What's in this box is almost equally as exciting as this. It looks like we still have our stay afield system in this new Phase 4. That's gonna take me a second to get used to. Phase 4. We have small parts enclosed in this one. We have QAD integrate. Got side plates if you want them. Those are no different. These are different, but we'll do that for last. We have still a low pro quiver. I believe this technology is the same. Obviously, we have our silent connect system that you can integrate for easy up and down in the tree, along with a bow sling. We can go over that stuff too later on. What is in here, when I heard of this concept, it was like, wow. It's like you don't think that it's possible. All new bridge lock stabilizers. This is kind of a nutty concept here. So obviously we know bridge lock technology came out last year where the sight actually goes through the middle of the riser, gets everything tighter, keeps everything more in line, more balanced. Well, they didn't stop there and they came out with bridge lock stabilizers. So now, right in here, we have a stabilizer that goes right in the middle of the riser. Pretty nutty concept. I have not shot it yet, but they said that it dampens it like crazy again because you're taking away bolts. You're taking away extra needed parts, connection points that create added vibrations, unbalanced bows. You can get stuff really wonky, even with the tuning and everything. So by essentially molding everything together to the riser like this is pretty nutty. I was very, very blown away when I was told about this. let's get this tightened down. Oh, I guess it's this knob right here. Guys, as I'm putting this together, this is my very first time touching a lot of this stuff, putting it together. So there might be some learning curves in this. Looks like that as far out as it can go. Then you just have this little knob, I guess. Tighten that down. And that's it. Just a neat little knob on the side there. Bridge lock, stabilizers. What's wild about this too, I guess I'll go over, but it can go, it's adjustable. So no longer getting different stabilizer lengths or anything. If you want a super short stabilizer, you can bring it in all the way like that, and that that'll still shoot. That will still shoot. Completely different feel, completely different everything. Like I'll have to mess around with this. I don't know what feels good and what doesn't feel good. But you can obviously run it all the way out to get let's get a measurement, I guess, from the tip of the riser all the way out. We have, so that is 10 inches right there. The overall stabilizer length is 12, but from the edge of the riser out is 10 inches. I do believe, if I recall right, these are gonna come out in different lengths. I'm not sure though. So next, a little bit shorter. So this is still 10 inches long. So this is 10, this is 12, but we do need a side bracket still for this. And this is the side bracket for it. Kind of a unique deal here. Looks like we still have a wing nut. We still have mounting bolts, but it's different. Like this stuff this has never been done before. So this still works the same. This is very similar to the old Shrewd one. It's still made by Shrewd. So we're gonna come in here. We have to switch this around so that we have a flat mounting surface. This is a flat surface that touches the flat surface on the riser. Just makes it a little bit better mounting. Okay, so we got that all tight. Now, we're gonna take this bad boy. There is one way to put it. You can't put it upside down like this. You have to do it. There's a little tiny, these little dimples that you have to line up correctly. So this bad boy slips in just like that. It's not adjusted in the right spot, but I'm just gonna tighten it down for now. So there's this screw hole on the side, and then this is our locking screw. Tighten that down. Tighten it down pretty good. And then I don't have it tight, but you have all the adjustment in the world here. That's pretty sick. That is very cool. Okay, so let's tighten them down. We'll do our standard. I normally run 4 degrees down, 4 degrees out. Keep that the same and just kind of see where we land with it. Oh, is that the only one? Mm-hmm. Ah, they updated that. So now it's only one screw to tighten everything down. I like that. The older Shrewd side stabilizer mount, there's 2. There's one on top and one on the bottom, right? I'm pretty sure there was, but now we can't do one on the bottom because it slips all the way through, so they had to do it all in one. That's good. Look at that. That looks sick. That's pretty wild. Different, guys. Very different. Very, very different. Okay, so I should go over this. There probably is something I don't know about this, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it out because I've never done it before. So these weights can come off, and it's actually a cool way that they come off. You just loosen it, and they slide off like this, one by one. And inside, there's these little pressure pistons. I don't even know what they're called, but when you tighten down the locking screw, all those pistons go. If you could have 20 of these bad boys out the back, and all the pistons glide together when you tighten it down, and it just locks them up like that. So no more twisting, no more nothing. They intertwine like a puzzle piece, and you do a full turn on this set screw right here, and it pushes the piston in, and they all connect. So check this out. This is one. I guess the piston has to be out. That's 1, 2, and then the third one is the end cap. So they're all loose right now. It's almost like, it looks like a rattlesnake. We're just gonna tighten this down, and you'll see those pistons just push on each other. And they're solid. What a concept. Had to do something different. So now, let's go over some specs. I don't even know if there are specs. Do we get specs on this bad boy? So specs on this bad boy is 29 inches axle and 33 inches axle. Same axle configuration as the V3X. It's gonna be the same feet per second as the V3X. 340 for the 29, 6-inch brace height. Like I was saying, it's pretty much the same exact riser. Mathews knows it, everyone knows it. It's the same pretty much riser, other than the bridge lock technology in the stabilizers. The biggest two features is the stabilizer technology and our new limb technology, which is, I have been told so many times, and I want to go over there and shoot it, but I have to put everything on it first, but it feels just completely different. And I'll kind of dive in later on some of the tuning differences, the vibration differences of different accessories on your bow, and kind of talk about how important that is and why that's so important. But right now I have my V3X, just to kind of show a comparison of the setups. Like I said, very similar risers, but the limbs, very, very different. Stabilizers, very, very different. Very different feel, shooting wise, vibration wise, everything. So still got granite. This color is granite, my favorite color. They still have the ambush green, all the other colors too. Let's start strapping accessories on this bad boy. Also, let me note, I'm building this for our moose hunt. Moose hunt's in 2 weeks, just about 2 weeks. So we're gonna have 2 weeks to get this bad boy dialed, shooting with broadheads and everything. I'm excited. Let's do our rest first. Start with putting in a little plunger hole thing right there. Make sure you do that, it looks so much better. Put our moleskin on. A little trick that I just learned while we were on the Ultra View dealer tour at Wild Arrow in Salt Lake City, Utah, is if this moleskin ever starts to peel up on you, you take a lighter and you just barely get it hot, and it basically melts all of the stickiness in it and allows you to re-stick it. He was showing us that. Good little trick. Shout out to Wild Arrow. It's also way easier to put the moleskin on before putting it on your bow. Tiny strip for the top of your rest. It helps it be a little quiet when you're full of adrenaline and the arrow's shaking. Bada boom, bada boom. Final little piece of moleskin stuff. Shaky, I'm all jacked up on caffeine. All right, there we go. There's a good look at the rest. All the moleskin 100% protected, even on the little dealio up on top. So when you're sitting there in your tree stand and you're shaking so bad and the arrow's all rattling around, it doesn't actually make noise. It's pretty quiet. So now let's put this rest on. This system is the same as before. Really no reason to change it right now because it works. It's awesome. It's bulletproof with the QAD setup, and now they have the new Epsilon that also similar works very similarly. So we're gonna loosen internal little clamp guy thing, strap her on the bow. As before, there's still a little tiny indicator line right there. We got a little arrow on the QAD. You're gonna line that up. That's how you're gonna install this bracket. With Mathews bows, with most bows on the market, you never want to leave center shot. You don't want to leave true center shot. What I mean by center shot is where the arrow goes through the bow next to the riser. There's a sweet spot that is middle. You never want to leave that. You don't want to set everything up and have to run the rest way to the left or run the rest way to the right. Typically, I would say there's an exception in some target archery scenarios where you do group tuning and you're just trying to find how the arrow can be repeatable the most. And sometimes that's an out of tune bow. As a bow hunting situation, when you're trying to shoot broadheads and have a perfect arrow flight for broadheads, that's a different story. Wow, how did I get this rope stuck in there? There we go. Now we're gonna take, this is like fine adjustment to get it close and what you use the dial for. This is Big Mac Daddy that you can romp on to tighten down the whole rest. So as you can see, we're still at 0 right here, run 0 right here, left and right. So left and right we're at 0, up and down we're at 0. Stock with this QAD rest, that sets it up at 13/16 about. You know, it could have a little variance in it, but 13/16. Awesome. And now we have it pretty close. Now what we're gonna do, we have an HHA Tetra with a UV3 onto it. I've been wanting to do this to test it out. First, I'm gonna switch to we call it the World Archery cap. In World Archery situations, you're not allowed to have electronics. Also, all the states that you're not allowed to have electronics in, this makes a great replacement. So this makes it 100% legal in all states that you're not allowed to have electronics in your sight. So it's an easy swap. Take that out. That pulls right out. This goes in. You can see where the bubbles cut out in the cap. That just fits right in there. So gives you a good white O-ring also to aim with. Line your peep sight up if that's how you like to do it. Bada bing, bada boom. And this goes in the same exact way as it has before. Slips right in just like that. Bridge lock, they send this little screw-in thing separately, I think, so it doesn't rattle out when it's in the bow, because it is loose until you tighten it down. She's pretty much complete. That's a good looking bow. I'm gonna redo this center serving. We're gonna put a D-loop on it. We're gonna put a peep sight in it. We're gonna get our rest set, and then we're gonna shoot her through paper. Hopefully it's not too far out. And then we're gonna get to the exciting stuff, to actually shooting it, going outside, seeing what this bad boy is gonna shoot. I'm gonna be putting this on with a 4mm, 3-inch fletch, 435 grain arrow. So it should be just money. So we're gonna replace the serving on this. Nothing's wrong with this serving. The nocks that I use, I'm gonna be using on my 4mm. They're a little bit tighter, so I just wanna run a little bit smaller material. What I'm doing right now is just kind of marking where this serving was, so I can just kind of do the same amount of serving. Let's try not to cut these bowstrings. So we're gonna do it the same exact way as the stock Mathews serving goes, so we get the same left helical out of the bow. So we're just starting. I'm just trying to copy exactly how it was. So they had the tag end going through the string at the top. We're gonna work our way to the bottom, do our cinch knot at the bottom, and it should be the same. It'll just be a little bit smaller diameter, so I'll get a little different knock fit out of it, and we'll be good to go. I'm just going back over my tag end, do a couple more, and then I'll pull my tag end tight and then cut it, and I'll just keep working down. Okay, so now we're down. We served all the way to the bottom. We got about a ½ inch or so until we get to the bottom of where we marked our serving. So we're just gonna go ahead and do our cinch knot here. Then we're gonna lay it over. We're gonna make sure that we start pretty tight. We're all lined up. And as you wrap it, you unwrap it on the right side. So you're wrapping it on the left, unwrapping it on the right. Cinch it down. Pull nice and tight on that. Gonna wrap it around too. You don't want to go wild, but to save your fingers, you can use an Allen wrench and just pull on that. Then we're gonna cut just a little bit left so we can burn that tag end down. Some people do, some people don't. Doesn't really matter, I think. I just like to have that peace of mind that there's a little bump stop on that. All right, that looks good. Let's grab an arrow. So rule of thumb, you have it knocked. If you can just barely lift up on the string and it pops off just like that, that's perfect. If you can lift up your string quite a bit and it stays on and it's like really tight in there, what that does is it just hangs onto the string too long, and then it can have some inconsistencies and stuff. You want a nice, crisp, easy snap off of the string. If you get too big of a serving on there, it could be a problem. So this is perfect. I like that. It can stay on like that, but just a little bit more pressure, it pops off. So before we get too crazy, what I'm gonna do is put a peep sight in so it gets the string separated. I'm going to run the Hamskea Insight. I run the target peeps on a lot of my hunting setups just so I can customize them a little bit more. Hamskea Raptor peep is also really good. You can get that in 3/16, 1/8, 1/4. I just like having the adjustability to swap between all of those. You can get these on UltraView's website now. So if you're getting a scope, what we recommend using these, because to fine tune how your scope picture is, it's really nice to dive into these, even some clarifiers or some verifiers. So we're gonna put this bad boy in. There's 2 string angle adjustments on the Peep Site. Depending on if you have a short axle bow, long axle bow, you can put them in different grooves on the Peep, which essentially make the Peep Site point in different directions and helps you always look straight through it. So we're just gonna check, see if I got it in the right one. That looks good, right? See how it's nice and level and flat? Is it? I can't really tell.
No, it's definitely facing down.
Need to do the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's way worse. Or is it good?
Oh, it's better.
Is it?
Yeah, that's good now.
Perfect. Good. Oh. So a quick and dirty trick. I'll show. Actually, you can do this step with a bow square. Line it up, the arrow shooting 100% perfect. I've just gotten really good at with these levels. You can snap it on the string, snap it on the arrow, and then it might also be because of this last chance press that I have. It's really easy just to get the bow. You get the bow level with the string and this little string clip. So bow's level, you lock it down, and then over here, you have this string level, or this arrow level, and then you just bump the nock until your arrow's level, and then right there we got a perfect 90-degree off of the string right through the middle of the burger hole. The rest is in the right spot. This gets us very, very close most of the time. Then we're gonna take our little string indicator on top. We're gonna tie it in. What I've been doing lately is just like 2 knots on the top, not a whole lot, and then I'll stack a few more on the bottom, so I'll have a bigger bottom knot. So we're gonna tie that in, we're gonna unclip our arrow. That's all I'm gonna do, just 2 knots. It's a placeholder, gives a little bit of separation from the D-loop. We're gonna burn it down. Touch it slightly with your finger. Then we're going to knock our arrow again. Okay, on the bottom, I'm gonna do 4 knots. So I'm gonna do 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. And if you guys have watched my bow builds in the past, we know that we like a little bit of slop where our nock is tied in. So right here, we got just a little bit, about 1 serving thickness of slop. So that just helps when you're at full draw. It doesn't pinch your nock, doesn't make it lift off of the rest because it's pinched so much. We're just stacking these knocks, stacking these knots. They just slide in right next to each other. Super easy. I'm gonna do 3. Do a square knot to finish her off. We're good to go. We're gonna put on our D-loop. Oh, should I do yellow? I feel like I should do yellow. Colby and others were saying that they have a bright D-loop so that they can find it easily in the dark and stuff. I was like, huh, never thought of it that way. So let's do a bright one. We're going to create our first knot before we tie it in.
Wouldn't be a normal day without dropping something.
Wouldn't be a normal day, you got that right. Let that cool down for a second. You don't want to mash it down while it's still wet or while it's still hot. It's just gonna mushroom all around. You want it to be a nice little hard ball so it doesn't shove through accidentally. Get something in there to get the initial stretch, and then we're gonna take our D-loop pliers. Give her just a little bit at first. Now what we're gonna do, so I'm gonna show you guys a quick little way to get Peep Site length from an old bow. So there we have D-loops lined up, just about, and Peep Site's about lined up. Quick way to do it, you also could just measure. Always remember, it's super important that you tie in around your Peep Site so that your Peep Site doesn't accidentally fly out of the bow and take an eye out. It's happened before. Really fast bows, low let-off bows, you have, the possibility of that Peep Site flying out. If you dry fire your bow, they fly out a lot of times if you don't have them tied in. So make sure you tie them in. It's not worth it. Now what we got to do, put in our rest cord, find the middle roughly. We're gonna pull it back. And that gets it set about to where it is. I'm gonna do 2 knots down here. Like I said, I was setting this up for a moose trip. Sometimes it's good to leave a little extra material on the end of your cords. Really, if you had a hamsky cord also, just in case you had to do a little quick infield adjustment. Never hurts. Little extra material. Doesn't do anything to your setup or anything. Gives you some room to play around with it. I've even seen, have you seen this before where people like run a longer side of their D-loop? I have seen someone just run like a long side of a D-loop and not
Why don't you just take another piece of D-loop?
I don't know. So another cool thing this year is since that they now have the phase 4 limbs, which are called technically RPD system, resistance phase dampening, which is kind of cool. There's updated bow press. What are these called? Like bow press hooks, bow press little edge things, and they're actually wider, which is really nice. The other ones, see how they're kind of small. You have to line them up 100%. Well, these are kind of wider, so you have just a second to move around on them if you're moving quick or whatever, and you maybe not have it 100%. I think it's gonna be okay, which is great. I really like that. We're gonna pull back again, just make sure our rest pops up where we want it. And it does. We want it just in the last little bit of the draw. Now we're gonna check our timing. Our top one's hitting right there, and we got a little bit of space in the bottom. So it needs about a half twist. So I'll do that, get our timing good. If you're at home and you feel like your bow feels a little squishy or a little off, you can actually pull your bow back, make sure there's an arrow in it and you got your release on. Have your buddy look at your timing and just kind of slightly ride on the back wall in and out, and you can have your buddy check your timing. That can affect your sight tape marks, tune, everything. So it is good, especially if you get a brand new bow, shoot it for a little bit, check it, and if you need to fix it, bring it back into the pro shop or whatever, but it is important. Okay, wrong way. We need to put a half twist in. So now we're gonna do a full twist in. That looks about perfect. Perfect. You can also, when you're at full draw, good thing to note is how your peep sight is. So peep sight spun just a tiny little bit. Before we move anything, we're gonna draw back. Really before we even anchor down our D-loop really tight, we're gonna draw back, see how our peep sight height is, get our peep sight to where we want, then fix if there's anything weird spinning happening with the peep sight. Then we can tighten down the D-loop extra good, tie in the peep sight, then we're gonna paper tune. So I have my old sight tape on here, which it should be pretty dang close. I have it set to 40 yards right now. A good middle distance is where you should set your peep sight to be perfectly comfortable. So a little bit further, it feels like you're anchoring a little bit lower. A little bit closer, it feels like you're anchoring a little bit higher. So you find a good middle ground, and then you can still shoot and anchor well on your short distances and your long distances. Well, that's about perfect. Let's see what 20 feels like. Feels good. Now let's see what like 90 feels like. Still good. Okay, I'm gonna start by just spinning my D-loop a little bit. Try to get that peep sight spun around. It's just a tiny little bit, so you can fix it. Fix it pretty much by a lot of the D-loop. Then we're gonna tighten it down just even more. Kind of a long D-loop I got on here this year. Mm-hmm. Were you thinking that too?
Yeah,
we'll see.
I don't know, I like long D-loops.
Yeah, we'll see how it feels. If I feel like I'm a little long, I'll retie it at some point, and it's just a feel thing, this long D-loop. Okay, I am not gonna tie this in quite yet either, because I might down the line in the next couple days kind of move it around, but for just normal shooting, this is absolutely gonna be fine. Next thing we have to do, we gotta put a B-Real grip on this guy. So super easy, same way, you just take off the Vantage grip, then you just rub all of this excess off before you put the grip on. I have a limited edition B-Real grip. There we go. That looks hot. It's a good looking bow, guys. Those stabilizers really bring such like a tactical feel to it. It's funny, I was checking to see if it was tight. These don't tighten, silly me. That is another good thing, they never loosen. You know, they got these little wing nut things, but besides that, they shouldn't be loose. All right, let's shoot this bad boy. What do you think, Riley?
I think we should shoot the bad boy.
I think we should shoot this guy. I'm gonna leave this long just for shooting this. Before we go outside, I'll cut it and burn it, FYI. All right, here we go.
You scared?
I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be different. All right, here we go, moment of truth.
It's pretty dead.
That actually was really, really dead. It's tough to hear the noise because of the bag. That felt very, very dead. Dead as in meaning no vibration. I'm not kidding. You have to shoot this.
Yeah, I'm
Swap
gonna shoot.
cameras. Like, I'm not kidding, dude. I'm
dude,
not
that's
lying.
Nothing.
I'm not
you can
lying.
like really pound on it. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
All right, swap.
Swap.
I'm not kidding. We're not kidding, guys. This is like way different. Talking to, you know, Mark, one of the engineers at Mathews, a lot of the Mathews guys. Accessories matter. Last year with the low pro quiver, the bridge lock, it was one step closer to saying, hey guys, accessories matter. Accessory matters with vibration, with tuning, with the overall feel of the bow. So bridge lock brings everything in, makes the bow quieter by having it pretty much infused into the riser because it's literally going through the riser. Now with bridge lock stabilizers, we're achieving the same thing. We still have a side stabilizer, but it is more integrated. Tighter connection with the overall stabilizers. And now with the phase limbs, they explained it to me, and I'm sure all of the videos on the internet are gonna do a better job today for launch day, but this eliminates wild limb vibration. So limbs actually as themselves have a lot of vibrations. They almost like do it the wave. This cuts it by like 50%. I don't know if it's because of the forelimbs or if it's because of this rubber lining on the inside. It's incredible how much one, quieter. It's kind of hard to tell in here, but it's dead. And I think a lot of that is the stabilizers, honestly. Let's shoot it, let's shoot through paper. Let's see how good I got this set up. And it's not trying to be a sales pitch. I know, like, obviously I'm sponsored by Mathews, and I can't obviously bash them if something bad was, but this is like insane how good this is, and from the heart, non-biased. A quiet, light, dead in the hand bow goes a long, long ways. All right, we had to turn the AC on. It was getting too hot in here. We're literally in a metal building and it's 90 degrees out. Okay, do we think that this is gonna hit right? Also, my peep sight is pretty crooked still. High right, easy fix. Half twist into the string this way. You know, as you shoot the bow, things settle, a couple hundred shots. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to put fletchings we can fix with the rest to the right just a little bit. That's always best. That is for sure the one in it right now. It's still gonna work. Okay, one side down. Took me maybe 30 seconds to do that. So let's see if that fixed anything. Pretty good left right. Now we're just straight high, so we can fix that pretty easily with the rest. Really close. So now our fletchings are a little left. They were showing a little left right there. But now they're definitely showing a little left. So pretty much we had fletchings to the right, so we moved our cam a little bit to the right. Now they're just slightly to the left. So basically there's no in between there with the cam. So now we're going to shimmy our rest just over a little bit. All right, let's see where we're at. Pretty close. Looks like we might still be a little knock high. All right, move back. We're at about 6 yards right now. Looks like fletchings are a little high right now. Little cat and mouse game. That looks pretty good. Took us a couple times, but we just had a very micro change it. All right, well, should we go outside? All right, we're just gonna get our 20-yard mark. Then we're just gonna work our way back. Hopefully I don't miss this first time.
Right in the middle.
Holy cow, is that the one in the middle? Let me go, there's a couple arrows in that target, let me pull them. Full quiver of arrows now. Yeah, it's a little low. Not much though. I'll just work my way back, 20, 30 now. Kind of just deciphering how I'm feeling about the shot and everything. Feels freaking good. It has a different sound to it. Like, it's quiet. It's more of like it's not a buzz, it's more like a doof, if that makes any sense. Ooh, just smoked that dot down there. So off of just a sight tape I have on this HHA, I'm about 9 yards different, so we should be good. Let's roll on back, see how far we can get. Oh, I should range this, 76. Oh, sorry. Let's get in the shade right here. Moved over in the shade a little bit. We got this nice apple tree in the yard, and we got a trail camera. We got a bunch of deer that have been showing up. Kind of suburban deer. Dang close, dude. This bow's shooting good with shorter stabilizers too. Definitely maybe want another couple ounces on them though. In the pocket. Shoot the rest of these. I'm doing pretty good. Maybe we can see. Maybe we'll back up to, I don't know, the edge of the shade, or maybe we'll go to 100. We should be able to get 100. Let's do that right now. Ooh, 100 on the dot. That was a good guess. All right, so we were just shooting at like 76, so 100 should get us close right here. Middle, I think. I think we're gonna be able to get a pretty tight group with this. She's quiet, dude. Like outside, it's like, dude, it's not like a buzz like sometimes they are. What we should do now, next end I'll go grab my V3X and we'll just do a simple one shoot that, next shoot the other one. A little bit of an array of them because I was sighting in, but pretty much once I was sighted in, this is what I got. So let's go back. I think I have 12, 13, 14 arrows, something like that. I'm gonna aim at one spot and just never move my sight, just shoot all of them, see how good of a group we can get. All right, just confirming, 100.3 yards. We're gonna aim at that right dot. Yeah, I definitely am going to want a little bit more weight on these stabilizers. They only sent me 4 though, so 2 and 2. So I can't mess around with that right now. Okay, I got 2 touching in the dot. One's kind of a flyer. Shoo! Feels good, but I'm getting like they're hitting sometimes and I'm getting low right groups. Okay, let's see what we got down there. It was pretty windy. I think it's at least decent. So, with a little bit of wind, I think it was doing some weird stuff after the barns in the yard. Not bad though. I mean, I think our core group was down low right here. These were a couple flyers or when the wind wasn't howling, so not bad. The real test is to come out here when there's no wind and my peep sight's not twisting, and then we should be dying pieces down here. So we got our V3X, we got the B-Reel Vantage shrewd bars on. We're just gonna see, I wanna see how it feels after shooting this for a while. Shooting the new one, shooting the new in August. It's always crazy to me. See, it definitely has that like higher vibration frequency. That even makes sense. There's a difference for sure. And you know, it's tough to tell if it's the stabilizers or the limbs or both of them together. What one's more noticeable? It's tough to tell. It's good, man. I think like I was saying, I definitely want some more weight on this one, just a little bit. One, because right now the new bridge lock bars are a little bit shorter than these, so the weight's gonna feel different. And right now on these I have 4.5, 4.5 and 4.5 ounces. I just have 2 and 2 on there, so the feel's gonna be a little bit different on that point. This one doesn't feel bad, but it's got a little louder buzz, a little more hand vibration. The new Pulse is like dead in your hand. I don't know if there is even an up from this. Shoot this one more time. Way quieter. She definitely shoots, that's for sure. All right, let's go inside. So, the new bridge lock bars, the old Be Real Vantage ones, which still, they work fine, they feel awesome. For everything that is not bridge lock bars, for sure, I'll still be using these guys. But for now, this new bridge lock bars plus the new limbs just makes it next level quiet, next level dead in the hand. I wanted to shoot through paper, or not through paper, through the chrono. I want to see what sort of speeds we're getting out of this guy, and also poundage. Getting 75.8, so that's pretty much exactly the same as my V3X over there. 300. Same exact speed. This is hilarious. Let's do this. V3X, let's see what we got. 301, same speed, 300. Same arrow, same draw length, same poundage. Gonna be running pretty much the same specs, which is good. I love these specs. So concluding thoughts. We have the all new Phase 4. Pretty cool name, pretty unique name. We got, I'm having a hard time remember everything. Resistance phase dampening, 4 limbs on the top, 4 limbs on the bottom with the strip of rubber in between them, and the all new bridge lock stabilizers. Stabilizers are a game changer. I mean, it was a big game changer, including the sight into the bow with the bridge lock. Tons of, a different vibration, way better than we've ever experienced before. And now with the stabilizers doing the same thing, I mean, it's just next level. Guys, I'm pumped. We got 2 weeks until we go to Alaska for moose. By the time you see this video, we'll already hopefully have done it. But we're gonna get this rig even more dialed and set up for that trip. I'm excited. Make sure to check it out, MathewsArchery.com. You can build one of these on the website, Mathews Bow Builder. Spec it all out, print it out on a PDF, pin it on your wall, stare at it, do whatever you want with that. But make sure to check it out. The all new Phase 4 by Mathews.